Modern factories are super complex, and more operators are finding that it's not enough to just get the information. You need to be able to orchestrate action based upon that information. So today I'm going to show you how you can build a complete plant orchestration solution inside of FlowFuse. Hey there, my name is Kristopher Sandoval. I'm the developer relations advocate here at FlowFuse. So let's jump into this orchestration powerhouse. Modern plants run millions of dollars worth of automation, but they're still making decisions on when a line starts based on data hidden away in some spreadsheet. So you've automated the lines, but you haven't automated the work between them. Handoffs still happen by email, reports are hours late, and you almost never have a single view of the entire plant. Now, legacy MES tools were supposed to fix this, and they do a good job until the first time you have to actually change your process. So how do we fix that? Here we are inside of FlowFuse. Now, this dashboard does a lot of things. It gives you a deep view into your KPIs, but it also helps you understand what each line specifically is doing. That means that you have real-time centralized data as well as an ability to affect change based on what you're seeing. So before we get into the demo itself, let's look at how this is actually built out. This is incredibly simple. In this case, we're feeding this data via a simulator, but the best part about FlowFuse is that you can plug anything into the system. All of your MQTT data, all of your Modbus registers, as long as you can get that data reporting, you're able to ingest it into FlowFuse. So you should consider this plant pole and plant simulator node to be a stand-in for whatever your line is. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking, oh, I have to do a rip and replace, that's not the way that FlowFuse works. FlowFuse can pull all of your data in regardless of how it's structured. There's nodes for Siemens S7 PLCs, Modbus implementations, there's the FlowFuse MQTT broker, as well as a generalized MQTT node for anything coming from something like HiveMQ. So swap those nodes with whatever system you're using to bring your data in. Now, one of the things that stops good orchestration is moving things away from business logic or logic that is stuck in someone's head to something that is actually structured within the code itself. So here we have line 1 recipe. This node is going to allow us to choose a recipe on the dashboard itself. And then within the set recipe node, we've set a way to actually call those recipes. We're also making ample use of our context data. So all of this is persistent. It's not ephemeral. It doesn't go away when you're not using it. And then from there, we're pulling actual data out for each of these elements. Now, all of this can be done in different nodes and different formats, but here we're doing it in the code to make it easier and to make it a lighter deployment. Now that we're on the dashboard, you can start seeing where all of these elements are being pulled in. So we have our plant KPIs, which in my opinion is sort of the minimum amount of information that you would expect from a dashboarding solution. But critically, we're also getting things like the OEE trends, so we can see over time how each orchestration control is affecting the entire plant. And based on this data, I can then trigger a recipe. I can select something like hood assembly C and run that production batch. And you can see the data respond in real time as this process is working. If we wanted to trigger our line for door panel A, we can run that production data. And critically, we can follow this recipe pathway all the way through its event and downtime logging. And this is a huge change from the way that reporting often happens in orchestrated environments. This isn't something where you have to do an entire line for 8 hours and then report that data in the shift handoff. You're getting live data, but you're also getting historical data that you can dive back into. And the coolest part about this is just one implementation. You could have this view on every single machine, and then you can have dashboards of dashboards. You could have nested dashboards that represent all of the machines on your line. You could have a nested dashboard that represents all the lines in your factory. And because everything is based on this flow and this context, that means that you can take this code and repeat it throughout all of your pipeline. So if you have one machine or one line that you know works and you want to push that code to other systems, you absolutely can. You can create a single code base by which all of your observability and all of your orchestration is standardized, and then roll that out to thousands of machines. That also means that when a problem arises, you can spot that problem, roll out the fix to one machine, and then roll it out to all of your machines with a click of a button. Orchestration is only as good as it is usable, and orchestration providers in the industrial space are a dime a dozen. But being able to build something that you can then scale easily, well, that's what defines an effective orchestration solution from one that just ticks the boxes. And this isn't theoretical. Manufacturers around the world already use FlowFuse across their plants. They use it to coordinate lines, to scale improvements, to retire spreadsheets that were quietly running the show. Your competitors are already using this to modernize their orchestration at scale. This solution gives you control over your line production, but it also gives you a ton of visibility into what is actually happening. And in tandem with something like FlowFuse Expert, you get entire visibility as well as the ability to orchestrate actions. That makes your plant more dynamic, more adjustable, and more efficient. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider giving us a like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to import this flow into your own instance, then check the links in the description below to find my GitHub where you can find the importable JSON. And if you'd like to get started on FlowFuse, head on over to flowfuse.com to start your free 30-day trial. This has been Kristopher Sandoval. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.